So welcoming everything is another way of saying, recognizing the light of being. Because the light of being isn't confined to just stillness or silence or the absence of feeling or the absence of thought or the absence of sensation. The light of being permeates all aspects of life, all experiences, the pleasant and the unpleasant, the joyful and the painful, the ordinary and the extraordinary. There is nothing outside of the light of being. Resistance to what is, resistance to the direct experience is how the light of being gets obscured. And so welcoming everything it's really not a practice that you do, a technique that you do for 20 minutes a day. It's an attitude of life, a way of living that has enormous impact on how you relate to your experience, how you relate to life. It's an attitude of openness. Openness is simply a soft gaze, a soft touch. You're resting in the field of awareness, not focusing solely on the content of experience. It's resistance that causes tension and suffering, causes mental tension and physical tension, mental agitation and emotional turbulence. So rather than pushing away uncomfortable feelings and trying to hold on to the pleasurable feelings or the spiritual feelings, just allowing everything, welcoming everything. In order to know God, you must welcome everything. God being the light of being. It's the resistance, it's the rejection of that which we don't want, that which we deem to be unwelcome, whether it be unspiritual or uncomfortable. It's that rejection that creates a sense of the separate self. The separate self, or the idea, the concept of the separate self, is the one that's struggling against life. It divides life into good and bad, should be happening and shouldn't be happening. When we speak of the separate self, it's really not on the level of the form. We must be clear about this. It's on the level of how we are with life, with how we are with our experience, whether we are rejecting, resisting, or whether we are simply welcoming. Rejection and resistance creates tightness, tension, contraction, and then we identify as a separate self, trying to fix things, control things, manipulate things, change things. but welcoming everything, allowing everything, letting it be as it is, that contraction undoes itself. The boundary of self softens. We become more aware of open space rather than tight self. So welcoming everything doesn't mean that we like everything. Welcoming everything doesn't mean we approve of everything. It doesn't mean turning away from harm or injustice or becoming passive. It means allowing everything to be as it is before we decide how to respond. It means welcoming the fullness of the experience. And in this way, we give ourselves permission to meet life honestly. In this honesty, we notice that every experience, whether it's sorrow or joy or fear or love, has the same luminous quality. Even strong emotions, intense emotions, turbulent emotions have a subtle radiance when we simply allow them, allow the movement. There's a great intimacy in this, an intimacy with life. And so when we stop dividing our experience into good or bad, welcome or unwelcome, worthy or unworthy, spiritual or unspiritual, that's when we start to discover a deeper unity. We're no longer separate from the flow of life. And there's a recognition that everything arises in a single field of being. We allow ourselves to be present with what is, without being defined by it. We allow ourselves to feel deeply without becoming overwhelmed. And we allow ourselves to act with clarity and compassion without being driven by fear or desire. It's an opening of the heart. It's also an opening of the mind. Mind and heart become one open space. And in this open space, there's a quiet radiance. This radiance isn't something that we add to our lives. It's not another acquisition. It's not something we can add to the spiritual shopping basket. It's simply the natural presence of awareness that shines through all things. It can only be revealed when we stop resisting what is, when we listen or meet reality, listen to reality, meet reality with the whole of our being, not just with our divided mind. This is a deeply experiential invitation, not a philosophical one. It doesn't matter what your ideas are or what path you're on. Each of us has this possibility. When we see that everything is an expression of the same underlying being, then everything belongs, and we belong. Everything. Every emotion, every expression, everything that exists belongs, because it is. The world starts to become transparent. And in that transparency, you sense the formless within the form. It's no longer dense. You sense the stillness in all movement and the silence in all sound and noise. This is what is meant by welcoming everything, or finding God in everything. God reveals itself, the light of being, the unified field, the radiance reveals itself in everything, however mundane or however extraordinary or transcendent. Every moment, every experience becomes a doorway to the sacred, to the mystery.